Boomtown Bandits was released 7 years ago at Gen Con, and I went absolutely nuts about it. But then I didn't play it for like a whole bunch of years. Does it still stand the test of time? Let's talk about it. Ooh, finger snap. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner? Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friend Adam.
Yep.
And we're talking about Boomtown Bandits from Breaking Games and Squirmy Beasts for 2 to 5 players, ages 13 plus. It's going to take about 30 minutes to play. And in Boomtown Bandits, it's really quite a simple game. There's going to be these locations out. And you're going to have as many locations as you have players, plus 1. So, in a 4-player game, I'd have 5 of these locations set out. Now, these locations are going to be different places, like the stagecoach, and the brothel, and the bank, and the saloon. And each one of these you're going to be robbing because you're a Boomtown Bandit. And how you're going to do that is by placing your tokens on top of this face down. Once everyone has placed all their tokens, whoever has tokens on this spot is going to have a shootout. So they'll reveal theirs, and there's 2 types of dice that you're going to have, because you're going to start with 3 dice. You'll have shooter dice, which will have 6-sided die, and on 2 of the sides you're going to have bullets, and then you'll have your coward die, which will have 6-sided die once again, but on one side is a runaway, and if you ever get this, you say you're out and you run away, but it also has a hit, so you could potentially still win. And what are you trying to win? Well, if you shoot the other person or the other people at the locations, you're going to win these delicious cards right here. And each of these locations has their own separate cards that have different special abilities that you'll be able to utilize. For instance, if you go to one location, you'll be able to screw your neighbor more. If you go to the mine, it could potentially collapse, so you could lose points, or you could, not get money points, or you might get a whole bunch of points. So there's different locations. But the thing that I love about the cards, we're not talking about the review then, but then pretty much the gist of the game is there's a little bit of a set collection aspect, because if you're the first person to get a card from all the different locations, then you'll get 15 points. And if you have the most cards from any location at the end of the game, you'll also gain another bonus card. You'll get 15 points. So a little bit of set collection there, or trying to vary your set. And that's pretty much the gist of the game. Lots of die rolling, lots of head-to-head dice rolling going on. It's fast, it's frantic. What are your thoughts? This is your first time playing it, right?
Yeah.
What were your first impressions of Boomtown Bandits?
I liked it. It was very quick. Some strategic elements on where you put your stuff, like what the coward token was really interesting, because you might just run away, so you don't want, you could put all 3 of your things on that spot because you're like, oh, that's an extra shot, but also you have the chance that you're just going to automatically run away.
But it's just for that one token, that one specific person.
So, yeah, I mean, you generally put that on the thing that you care the least about.
But if you win with that token, it has that moment where, like, ha, and I did it to you. It's like,
when you have 2 regular shots on there and you lose to one of those coward tokens, it feels pretty bad.
But I will say this is a very random game. It's all about dice rolling. It's about dice rolling fast, and that's going to be a big turnoff to some people. Yeah. Plus, the game penalizes you if you start rolling before other people, which can happen because in the heat of battle, because the way it works is when you're not on that spot, you're essentially the judge. You say 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody else has to go. And when people say hit at the same time, which they can, you have to be the one who decides it.
Yeah.
And it can
upset some people.
It can in this particular game. For me personally, I wanted to do this video. I got this off the shelf because I was hoping either one of 2 things would happen. Either say, oh my gosh, I still love this game, and I'm going to put it back on my shelf, which I am going to do. Or I'd say, oh, it's not as great as I remember, and I would get rid of it. And I'm going to be keeping it, because I absolutely had a blast with Boomtown Bandits, and I still do believe what I said in my review. I was looking at my review a little bit earlier, from 7 years ago. It is great as a gateway game. Would you agree? I think gateway games, fantastic. Yep. Family weight game, absolutely, as long as you don't mind the theme, which I don't think too many people are going to mind the theme.
No. The brothel might turn off some people.
Yeah, I could. Game night style game, that's going to be hit or miss. You have to know your audience, I think, on that one. But I think overall, most people are probably going to like it.
It's not super long, so it's not like you're stuck there forever.
And it's action-packed. I mean, each round, you're probably going to be rolling the dice at 1 or 2 locations, maybe 3 if you spread yourself out. And that's part of the fun as well. The special ability cards, that's where it's at, though. They're varied. They do all sorts of weird and wild stuff. They feel good when you can play one. You never quite know what you're going to draw. And my favorite thing that I loved back then, and I still love now, and I don't think enough games do it, is that when you get one of these cards, yeah, you get victory points, but you need to use the special ability on the bottom.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but it's a disservice to you if you don't use it. In too many games, and I said this 7 years ago, and it's still the day now, too many games are like, you can either use the cool special ability, or you can have the victory points. And I say, get bent. No, do this, not that. Boomtown Bandits, I still love this game. I would love to see this game get reprinted with more locations, with more cards, with more... I mean, hell, why can't you do more players? I want to see a 10-player expansion of this. Now, I think the probably reason why is because it didn't sell well enough, because I've never heard anyone talk about this game ever, aside from me.
But it's got cool stuff.
It does! It's got a little bottle that you spin to decide first player. The components are nice. The dice are chunky. I think they're like King of Tokyo size. They're printed in. And this is one. You get the opportunity to get this, and you like dice chucking games, put it on your radar. Going back into my collection, but here's the bottom line. Always ask this question, or at least I should. If I was going to hand you this game, would you want it? Would it warrant a space on your shelf?
I don't think it would.
Really? Even with your family?
Yeah.
Do they not like the brothel?
No, that wouldn't be a problem.
They love the brothel.
I just feel like they would get angry at each other.
Ooh, that's
the thing, you know?
You saw that firsthand.
Right. So
I can see that. I mean,
I don't want to drive a wedge. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm going to keep it. I love this game. But there you go. That is Boomtown Bandits from Breaking Games and Squirming Beast Games. I think I'm just hotter on this than everybody else I've ever met, and damn it, I'm fine with that. But if you get a chance to try this one out, at least try it. It is a very interesting game, and I will say I don't think it feels like any other game.
No.
Boomtown Bandits from Isaac Kep. Check this one out if it ever happens to get to your table. If you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. We're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so we're at my 10-year anniversary of making YouTube content. And in the comments below, let me know, where do you think would be the easiest place for you to rob? And what would you rob? It's actually going to be worth it.
That would be worthwhile.
I imagine it'd be your work. It seems like a no-brainer.
No, we can't say work.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you can't say, yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say work. That's right. It's just don't rob your work.
I don't know. Old folks home?
Ooh, you're very nice, and you're very helpful. You could, start by fixing things, and then they would never suspect you're robbing.
Generally, steal a little bit at a time.
Yeah, you just walk in, like, hey, I'm the new maintenance guy. Is there anything that needs fixed? And just necklace here. That's a good one. I would have stole from my work, but I don't work there anymore. But I still probably would have said I would have stole from there back then, because that's the person I am. But yeah, there was all these windows that were busted out, because I used to work in a preschool, because the kids would just lean back on these screen windows and they'd start to fray down at the bottom. You could easily just rip your hand in there, pull that thing out, bust on in. Now, what are you stealing? Most likely, there was a safe deposit box that they used to have, but then I think somebody else robbed it. I think they got robbed. They had it in a stupid spot, and they emptied it at the same time every week. And it's like, you're just begging to be anybody. It's because it's the size of this box, and it's got thousands of dollars. Oh yeah, there we go, we're gone. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'd steal that though. I'd probably just steal something from my old work. But let me know in the comments below, what would you rob? And as always, thanks for your time.
No admissions of guilt.
This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.